It gives me great pleasure to present to you the distinguished Napoleon Hill. It is an honor to share this conversation with you, and I hope you will make yourself comfortable as we spend this time together. I ask that you let go of any worries or distracting thoughts for a while and allow yourself to be completely at ease, because what I am about to give you is the key to opening any door that your imagination is capable of envisioning. This key is not a physical object, but rather a series of guiding principles, 17 in total, that together form what I call the master key. The very first of these is something I refer to as definiteness of purpose. Let me make you a very important promise right from the outset. If you will take the time to determine clearly what it is you want most out of your life and commit it to writing in words so exact that another person can understand it, then I will place into your hands the key that will unlock the achievement of that desire. The moment you are ready to receive this key will depend entirely upon you and your preparedness to use it. Today is only the beginning of 13 messages I have prepared for you. In each of these visits, I will explain a part of the master key, always in a way that will be simple to grasp, provided you are open and willing to understand. Let me offer you the very first clue about this key, which has been the cause of every great accomplishment throughout history, in every walk of life, in every nation. Please listen closely, for you may discover its secret during this very first lesson. Psychologists have confirmed that there is a natural law, one that serves as the foundation for all individual achievement. And I can express it in just a single line. Whatever your mind is capable of imagining and truly believing, it can also bring into reality. Consider how remarkable this truth really is. Notice that it says nothing about having to be formally educated, wealthy, or born into special circumstances. It simply declares that whatever you can conceive in your thoughts and accept as possible, you can accomplish. If you doubt that such a law is real, think of Thomas Edison. This man, with only 3 months of formal schooling, imagined himself as an inventor and eventually became the most celebrated creator in the field of scientific invention the world has ever known. I still remember the first time I heard Andrew Carnegie describe this universal law, the same law that gives each of us the privilege to set our own value upon life and then claim it. I was so inspired by what I heard that I set out to find the hidden power behind it. This quest led me on a long search that ultimately resulted in my discovery of the master key I am sharing with you now. My search required me to study the unseen forces that operate in every person's life. Through this exploration, I found a clue, one that has since helped millions of men and women find their destiny and create success far beyond anything they had previously believed possible. I want to explain my discovery as simply as possible so that you will see why it is true that no matter how many failures you have experienced, no matter how lofty or distant your dreams may seem, they are still within reach if you will follow this principle. I caught my first clear glimpse of this law while working under the mentorship of Andrew Carnegie during the early days of developing what eventually became the science of success philosophy. At the time, I admitted to Mr. Carnegie that I feared he had chosen the wrong person to deliver such a great message to the world because I was young, poorly educated, and had almost no financial resources. Mr. Carnegie's response was a speech that forever altered the course of my life and gave me the confidence to devote myself to sharing this philosophy with the world. Within you, he said, is a power greater than poverty, greater than a lack of schooling, greater even than fear and superstition combined. This power is your ability to seize control of your own mind and direct it toward whatever ends you choose. He went on to say that this gift must have been regarded by the Creator as the greatest of all blessings given to mankind, for it is the only thing over which every person has absolute and unquestionable control. When you speak of your limitations, Mr. Carnegie continued, you are only directing your own mind to attract those very conditions into your life. For whatever the mind dwells upon, it draws nearer to itself. In that moment, I began to see clearly why success always starts with definiteness of purpose, an exact mental picture of what you want to achieve. Mr. Carnegie continued by giving me an analogy that made such a lasting impression that I immediately set goals for myself far beyond anything I had previously dared to dream. He explained that every person is born with two figurative envelopes. One is labeled rewards, and inside it are listed the benefits that come from mastering and directing one's own mind, robust health, peace of mind, work that you love, freedom from fear, a positive mental attitude, and material wealth in whatever quantity you choose. The other envelope is labeled penalties, and inside are listed the prices you must pay if you fail to take control of your own thinking poor health. Fear, worry, indecision, frustration, poverty, and a host of negative emotions such as envy, jealousy, and hatred. My mission in life is to help you open the envelope marked rewards and make use of its contents. To begin this process, I urge you to take the following steps first. Obtain a small pocket notebook, and on the very first page, write a detailed statement of what you most desire in life. Describe it so clearly that anyone reading it would know exactly what success means to you. Remember, the only limits you face are those you allow to exist in your mind or those you accept from others. Second, on the next page of your notebook, write down precisely what you are prepared to give in return for the fulfillment of that desire, because nothing in life comes without an exchange. Third, commit both of these statements to memory and repeat them aloud at least 12 times every day, always ending with a moment of gratitude for the fact that you were blessed at birth with the ability to think, choose, and direct your own mental powers toward any purpose you desire. If you do this with sincerity, you will soon find yourself living in a new world, one that reflects your own creative vision rather than the circumstances that used to control you. In my next message, I will explain the second principle of success, which will show you how to draw upon the experience, knowledge, and even resources of others in pursuit of your definite major purpose. We now come to the second principle, known as the mastermind principle. You must fully understand this principle because you cannot possess the master key without it. A mastermind alliance is formed when two or more individuals work together in perfect harmony toward a definite purpose. This principle allows you to borrow and make use of the education, experiences, influence, and even financial backing of others. When you form a true mastermind alliance, you can accomplish in a single year what might otherwise require a lifetime if you were working alone. History gives us powerful examples of this principle in action. Consider how Kate Smith, early in her career, struggled to make a living as a singer until she partnered with Ted Collins and created a mastermind alliance that catapulted her to fame and fortune. Or think of Edgar Bergen, who with his wooden companion Charlie McCarthy entertained audiences for years. His big break came after he entered a mastermind relationship that gave him access to radio and television audiences numbering in the millions. Henry Ford himself formed a mastermind alliance with his wife, who encouraged him to continue developing his automobile, even when friends and neighbors laughed at his horseless carriage. Even the United States of America is an example of the mastermind principle at work. The Declaration of Independence was the product of men who knew that by signing their names they might be signing their own death warrants. Yet they acted together in harmony, and their unity gave birth to a nation richer and stronger than any before it. If you are employed, you have an excellent opportunity to apply this principle right now. By forming alliances with co-workers and management alike, you can raise your earning power, create a better working environment, and promote yourself into positions of greater responsibility. Before our next meeting, I want you to take 3 steps. Decide where you want to be in 3 years. Determine how much money you want to earn and what you will do to deserve it. And form a mastermind alliance with at least one person in your household and one person connected with your work. Remember, there is no such thing as getting something for nothing. Everything must be earned. Your part of the price is simply to think clearly, act with purpose, and maintain a positive mental attitude. Your attitude is the only thing you can completely control, and it is the key to winning the cooperation of others. Those who are truly accomplished have mastered the ability to redirect the energy of sexual emotion through a disciplined approach to self-control. Because this subject is delicate, I can only offer a limited amount of guidance here, though I have explored it in far greater depth in other writings. Your physical well-being also requires restraint through wise eating habits and occasional fasting. Since the exact regimen that will work best differs from person to person, I will leave the specifics to your physician's judgment, but I strongly encourage you to seek reliable knowledge on the matter. Speaking personally, I credit my lasting good health largely to the nutritional routines and periods of fasting I have consistently followed over the years. Self-mastery must also extend to one's attitude toward religion and politics. We live in a nation that, for all its flaws, represents one of the finest expressions of organized society that humanity has developed so far. Its citizens come from many different faiths and political persuasions, and a person cannot truly be happy or thrive here without learning the art of respecting the views of others, even when they differ from his own. This requires strict control of temper and tolerance for diversity, but the most essential form of discipline, the one upon which all others depend, is the control of your own mind. You have been given the priceless privilege of directing your thoughts toward any purpose you choose, but you cannot truly seize that privilege without a practical method for doing so. I have spent the better part of my life studying and developing a workable system that enables men and women to take charge of their mental processes. It has been successfully applied by millions across the globe, proving not only that it is practical, but that it is simple enough for anyone prepared to use it. No special genius is needed, only the determination to command one's own thinking and a clearly defined aim toward which that thinking is directed. Thomas Edison's extraordinary achievements were made possible by his relentless self-control, which allowed him to become the most prolific inventor of his era and uncover more of nature's mysteries in a single lifetime than entire civilizations had uncovered before him. The Wright brothers, guided by unshakable persistence and a refusal to be defeated by repeated failures, succeeded in giving the world its first practical flying machine, forever transforming human travel and commerce. Helen Keller overcame deafness, blindness, and muteness, a combination of obstacles that would have crushed most spirits, because she learned to govern her inner world. My own work in formulating a practical philosophy of success was born out of years of discouragement, failure, and heartbreak, yet perseverance and discipline enabled me to compile the lessons of hundreds of great men and women and distill them into principles that anyone can use. Discipline is not only a cornerstone of personal success, but also a central feature of every major religion. Many hold that the purpose of life itself is to develop wisdom and strength of character through struggle and conscious control of one's impulses. Whether or not one accepts that view, it is undeniable that no person ever becomes truly wise without it. Nor does anyone attain lasting peace of mind or genuine happiness without learning to govern himself. Through discipline, sorrow can be transformed into faith, resentment into sympathy, and apparent misfortune into seeds of benefit. With discipline, we learn to release the painful grip of past suffering and discover the higher, calmer self that refuses to be permanently defeated. This inner mastery even frees us from our deepest fear, the fear of death, and liberates us from the torment of imagined illnesses that plague so many. It allows us to think independently, to live according to our own convictions, and to escape the invisible chains of ancient superstitions and inherited limitations. The Creator never bestows a gift without also providing the means to use it wisely. Self-discipline is the method by which we take hold of the greatest of all gifts, the power of thought, and direct it toward a purpose of our choosing. Remember, the easy path is the one that turns rivers crooked and men weak. This brings us to one of the most important truths you can ever learn. A constructive mental attitude is the key that clears the way between you and whatever it is you most desire. A positive state of mind can dissolve obstacles and open the door to opportunity. In all of my work, I have never simply told readers what to do. I have always made certain to show them how to do it. The first step is to train yourself to get along with others harmoniously, refusing to let minor annoyances grow into quarrels. People of great character avoid small disputes whenever possible. Begin each morning by setting your mental state deliberately, preparing yourself to remain positive no matter what the day may bring. Learn to influence others gently by asking questions that guide them toward the responses you hope for, and avoid being drawn into pointless arguments. Turn irritation into laughter. Start your day with a few seconds of hearty laughter, which will improve your mood and your brain chemistry. Each day, give thanks not only for the good things you expect, but also for the hardships of the past, for hidden within every difficulty lies a lesson or advantage if you look for it. Focus on what you can do right now about your situation and begin taking action immediately, no matter how small. When you encounter unpleasant circumstances, channel the emotional energy they stir into constructive work connected with your life's purpose. Treat every event, whether pleasant or unpleasant, as material from which to learn and grow stronger. See your life as a never-ending process of education and remain alert to the wisdom that each new experience brings. If you wish to reshape the world, begin by reshaping yourself, cultivating greater patience and generosity toward others. Twice a day, express gratitude for the ability to control your own mind and ask for guidance in using this power wisely. Compliment those around you sincerely and enthusiastically, ignoring their faults, and watch how quickly they respond by emphasizing your strength. When others criticize you, take it as an opportunity to look within and discover whether their observations contain truth that can help you improve. Never accept anything from life that you do not want. Remember that Gandhi defeated one of the most powerful empires on earth through the simple but profound force of passive resistance. Do not waste time worrying over situations you cannot change and refuse to give mental energy to them. Keep your thoughts occupied with your chief aim in life so there is no room for fear or doubt to take hold. If you ever fall into self-pity, look for someone worse off than yourself and find a way to help that person. You will soon notice that whatever you do for others, you in some way do for yourself. Choose a role model who embodies the qualities you admire most and strive to mirror those traits. Develop a pleasant, confident tone of voice. Your voice is a window into your soul, and it shapes how others perceive you. Record yourself speaking so you can refine your delivery, especially if you are in any field where persuasion is vital. And finally, post this affirmation where you will see it daily. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Only you can provide yourself with a positive attitude. No one else can do it for you. Enthusiasm is the emotional steam that powers your mental engine. Knowledge by itself is not power. It becomes power only when directed toward a specific purpose with energy and passion. Words spoken without enthusiasm rarely move anyone. They may even bore your listeners. But enthusiasm is contagious. When you express it, others catch it and reflect it back to you. Andrew Carnegie once remarked that a single man filled with intense enthusiasm could transform the spirit of an entire factory of workers. Whether that enthusiasm is constructive or destructive, it spreads quickly. For this reason, Carnegie always looked first for enthusiasm when choosing people for positions of responsibility. You can make a memorable impression on someone new simply by the warmth of your handshake, the sincerity of your smile, and the liveliness of your tone. When you meet someone, speak with energy, clasp his hand firmly but kindly, and engage him on topics that interest him. Ask thoughtful questions that keep the focus on the other person, and only later introduce your own concerns. By then, he will be receptive. I learned early that the teachers who inspired me most were those who taught with vigor and excitement. Doctors have told me that the spirit they bring into the sick room often does more good than the medicine they prescribe. A cheerful mental state is one of the best defenses against disease, and worry is one of its worst causes. Even prayer becomes far more effective when offered with sincere, heartfelt emotion. If you wish to cultivate enthusiasm, practice it daily. Read aloud for 10 minutes with all the feeling you can muster. Bring that same energy into your conversations with family and colleagues. Make a list of topics you are passionate about and practice speaking about them. Enthusiasm is effortless when a strong motive drives it, love, ambition, or the desire for achievement. Closely linked with enthusiasm is the trait of personal initiative, the ability to act without waiting for someone to tell you what to do. Nearly all great successes are built by those who seized opportunities through their own initiative. F.W. Woolworth acted on his idea of a 5 and 10-cent store when no one else believed in it and became a multimillionaire. W. Clement Stone started an insurance company with only $100 and built it into a multi-million-dollar enterprise by doing more than was expected and by never waiting for instructions. Personal initiative requires persistence, decisiveness, and the habit of completing what one begins. It means doing more than you are paid for, taking responsibility without excuses, listening carefully, and concentrating fully on one task at a time. Above all, it means refusing to postpone what should be done now. Success is a matter of deliberate action. No one can tell you exactly what your purpose should be. You must decide for yourself and then move toward it with determination. All the other principles, definiteness of purpose, the mastermind alliance, going the extra mile, faith, a pleasing personality, self-discipline, a positive mental attitude, and enthusiasm, depend on your willingness to act on your own initiative. Finally, learn to turn every defeat and disappointment into a stepping stone. Many people have discovered their greatest opportunities as a direct result of their greatest misfortunes. Franklin Roosevelt's paralysis developed in him the courage and will that carried him to the presidency. Milo C. Jones, struck down by paralysis, used his mind to create the idea of little pig sausage and became wealthy where before he barely survived. Search your past for similar lessons. Within every loss is a seed of advantage waiting to be found. Take possession of your mind, direct it toward growth rather than resentment, and you will discover that no experience is wasted.